today's video is going to cover some very basic aerial conditioning drills for the ground. So things that you can do at home or things you can do with a lower silk. So everything should be always touching the ground, not everything, but something should be touching the ground at all times during these conditioning exercises. They're going to help strengthen the upper body and the core specifically, and some lower body mobility for those beautiful poses we want to catch in the sky. So first things first, the one thing that you should start to work up towards is being able to increase your grip strength. So you're going to go up high and then just start to pump the hands. And I would say turn on your favorite song, turn on a song that keeps you motivated, and just keep gripping, okay? And you're going to go up and down with those hands, meaning as wide open and closed. You're going to start to feel that after a little while. Go ahead and keep the hands closed and lift and lower. Lift and lower. Now if you can add weights to this, great. 5 pounds is good. Work your way up to 8, 10. The key here though is not so much building bulk, even though we do want to build strength, so it's okay to go into those 10 and 15 pounds. But in aerial, you're going to be doing a lot of this motion, and we want to make sure it stays flexible and mobile. So a lower rate with high repetition is good. And then occasionally, a couple days a week, hitting into the higher weight, lower repetition. You can also use like an exercise band. If you knot it in the center, you can keep moving with me here. If you knot it in the center, you can put it over a door jamb or close it into a door jamb and pull down on the band. You can also do something similar by putting the band under your feet without a knot. Make sure it's a nice long band, and then pushing up. So you can work both sides. But even if you're using no weight at all and you're just moving with me right now, you probably notice that those shoulders are starting to feel the burn. And my cat's coming to say hi. 1 second. We're gonna throw Ziggy out. Everybody say hi, Zig. That was to test to see if she could actually manage to be in here while I'm filming, and she just failed. Hopefully you're still moving though. Now, tuck those elbows in nice and tight, drop the fist down so it looks like you have a 90-degree angle in the elbows. You're just gonna come in and out, just like so. Moving nice and steady with that range of motion. Now, I'm keeping it kind of short and sweet today, so you can do this video in 10-15 minutes, but know that you can always increase repetition. You can do this while you're sitting and waiting for class to start, or you're in the store, or you're having some idle time at work, perhaps if you have one of those jobs where you can kind of stand for a moment and you're not constantly busy with your hands. And even if you are, just remember it's an aerial drill. If you have to do a lot of lifting and pulling and tugging, it's good for your aerial skills. And there goes Watson. Now, next up from there, you can do a tricep kickback. Now you can do this kneeling, standing, whatever. I like to make combo moves a lot of the time, so instead of just standing and doing a tricep pullback like this, which again you can do without weight, you can do with weights, or you can add a band, right? And you would put the band under your feet. Sit here, make sure the back stays straight, so no bee stingers out, no puppy dogs in trouble, but a nice straight back, and then you would just pull back. The band would be under your feet, and you would just pull. So that's another option. But to increase the hip mobility that you need in aerial, another option is knees are bent, hips are bent, elbows are bent, and then everything straightens. Straighten, straighten. So that tailbone kind of tucks under at the top, pressing those hips forward, and those triceps pull those arms back. And you just go through this range of motion for a little while. Nice and steady. Now all of these are kind of a way to warm up the body. You should probably feel your heart rate getting up. The muscles feel nice and warm. So now we're ready to get into some more strengthening of the core and mobility exercises. So next up, we're going to go into a plank. Now if you have not seen my plank video and chest press or push-up video, definitely check it out, but a short synopsis of it. Hands go directly underneath of the shoulders, not wider than, not in front of, directly under. Spread the fingers, press into the thumb, forefinger and pinky. So thumb, first finger, pinky. You're gonna take one foot back, bring the other foot back to meet it, and hold. Now the head should not drop under. We're not looking for our toes, and we're also not looking way out in front of us. Just look right down in between your hands. The goal here is to start to build up how much you can hold. If coming off of your knees is not an option at the moment, drop the knees. Now, when I say drop the knees, that does not mean bring the knees back under the hips. You're not doing a darn thing here. Take it back out, find the plank, keep the spine straight, float the knees to the floor, then press the hips forward a little bit. And then keep pressing the floor away under the hands. We don't shrink into the shoulders. So just like this is another option. Now, after you've done your plank for a few times, you can move into doing chest press progressions. Having trouble speaking today, it's Friday. But you can go into push-ups and things as well. Really helps build the chest wall. But for aerials specifically, we do a lot of pulling. So it's a lot of back work that we need, more so than, say, a chest press. Not that I'm discouraging you from doing push-ups. So having said that, an easy exercise you can do on the floor, besides the stuff I showed you with pulling the band and whatnot, grip on your way down, grip, 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 roll, nice and steady, is to go into an elbow press. So the elbows come straight to the floor, like so. Feet can come in nice and tight, close to your behind. Say hi to Watson. And then you're going to press into the elbows as if you were trying to come up off the floor. Now you don't have to come off the floor, your head's going to stay down, but you're just going to press and release. Press and release. So now we're working those back muscles. Press and release. Nice and simple, right? You can do this while you're watching TV or listening to your favorite podcast or an audiobook, whatever, okay? And then another option to add to that, again, to increase the hip mobility, is press into the back, then press the hips up. Press into the back, release it, press the hips up. So it's kind of like a seesaw. Upper body press, lower body press. Upper body press, lower body press. And you can just keep alternating through that. Now next up, since we're down here, we got to start working the core. I'm going to come out from my silk a little bit, or actually I'm going to knot it up, because we're going to get into some straddle and bot mod type stuff. So those legs have to come nice and wide. So we're rolling down, grip, 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 grip as much as you can overhead especially, but when you're standing, like those arms up over the temples of the head will start to really increase that upper body strength as well. So from here, what you're going to try to do, we want to get into the 100 essentially. For some people that's kind of hard. So you'll start with those knees up in tabletop position, and you can reach those hands like you're trying to reach for your heels, and then let those hands just hover, and you're going to hold here. And then maybe start to alternate one leg than the other, which in Pilates is like a single leg stretch. But ultimately our goal is to be able to hold both legs out and hollow out the body. Even better is to come from the floor up. So it's like a hollow body in gymnastics, but it's the way we get into the 100 in classical Pilates. So the hands would be here on the floor, head, feet, heels are squeezing together, inner thighs are squeezing together. Everything's a nice tight tension of energy. And then you're going to inhale. On your exhale, tuck your chin, start to roll the upper body up. And kind of almost imagine you're pressing your hands into the floor so your upper body gets lighter. And then keep pressing, pressing, pressing into that core so that the feet can levitate. And then you're going to hold here or pump. Either one. And you want to try to stay there for anywhere from 20 to 30 seconds to a minute. Okay? So that's your next exercise for conditioning. After that, we're going to go into a little bit of a leg lower and also then a straddle. So for this one, you're going to bring your hands behind your head and try to keep your armpits open as possible. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale, bring your legs to tabletop position. Inhale. Exhale, bring your upper body up. Now, bring this leg straight. Make a V. So you're going to look up and look at that heels touch, toes are apart. You're going to lower it down and exhale to lift. Inhale. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. Look at your belly button the whole time. Try to avoid the belly button popping to the sky. Hopefully you still have some good music on. I can't for the life of me figure out how to play music at the same time as I'm filming, so sorry about that. Besides, YouTube would shut it off anyway because copyright stuff. So anyway, now once we have a few reps of that, we're going to turn that into a straddle. You can lay your head down for a second if you need to, shake it out. And take another deep breath in, reset the body. On your exhale, go ahead and lift back up. Inhale, exhale, the legs come back up. Good. Now this time you're going to lower, but as you come up, you're going to straddle. Inhale to lower, exhale to straddle. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Let's do just 4 more. And relax. Good. From here, let's roll to the side, checking the time, making sure we keep this in a manageable chunk of time. So try to lay your body out straight. Bring the feet slightly to the front corner of your mat. Again, notice the heels are together, toes are apart, and then stack the ribs and hips. So you want to draw in that lower waist. From here, hand comes to the front for balance and support. And I have my head up, but I actually prefer folks to be down here just because it's kinder to your neck. And then you're going to lift and tap, tap, lift, tap, tap, lift. Exhale, inhale. It actually doesn't really matter on this exercise where you inhale or where you exhale. Either way is fine. Just make sure you're breathing. I like the exhale on the way up because it gets rid of the air in my abdominals and allows me to get a little bit more into that range of motion because I'm not just flinging my leg up, I'm using my core. 1 more here. And then hover that foot about hip height. You're going to flex it to stretch it forward and then point to pull back. The abs pull forward, inhale, pull back, exhale, inhale. Now on this one, it is really helpful to have the exhale in the front, emptying out the abs so they can give you a little extra inch. And the inhale, we just squeeze that glute to pull that foot behind us slightly. Try to keep your foot on a level plane, probably hard to see in this video, but it's like I'm sliding my foot across a higher level of floor. I'm not going like up and down as I go through that range of motion. And then relax. We're going to do that on the other side. Okay, so from here, we're going to go into same thing, the lift, lower, lift, lower. So this video is really just kind of a very brief synopsis of floor exercises you can do with little to no equipment necessary. And I will shoot another video here in just a moment that will showcase the exercises you can do for stretching. And then I'll make another video of ground conditioning exercise you can do, but using a low silk, meaning some part of your body, mainly your feet or your bum, are going to always be touching the floor. Bring that foot up to hover. You'll exhale to bring it forward. Inhale back. Now the goal here is to keep the spine straight and strong on this exercise. We're not flexing the spine and arching the spine. The spine stays straight. That leg comes forward through the power of the abdominals, and that foot stretches back by the power of your tush. Just 2 more here. And last one. And relax. Great job. All right, so there are, again, some strengthening exercises, no equipment necessary, all designed to help build that aerial strength. And again, remember, here, with these gripping jazz hands, great place to be. Try to work up to 2-3 minutes even. You can do it. We do it all the time in Kundalini with our arms above our head, different mantras and mudras and things with our hands. So I believe in you. You can do it too.